We now turn our attention to boxing and the upcoming fight on the 19th of January 2019, Manny Pacquiao versus Adrien Broner. It's a decent fight. Manny Pacquiao 40 years old now, Adrien Broner 29 years old, so there's a big age advantage for Broner there. We've got the records: Manny Pacquiao season career, Hall of Fame career, 67-2, 39 of those 60 wins coming by KO. Adrien Broner, we've got a record of 33-3-1, 24 of his 33 victories coming by KO. In terms of the betting, on the winners market, we've got Manny Pacquiao 2-5. So Manny Pacquiao favourite there, handsome favourite. The draw 25-1. Adrien Broner 5-2. It's an interesting matchup. Manny Pacquiao is coming to the end of his career. He does hold a WBA world title, having beaten Lucas Matisse last time out. We've got Adrien Broner coming off a draw with Jesse Vargas. It's a big fight for Broner. He had a lot of potential at one point, but few losses put him offline. He's had a few problems in his personal life. He's been off the rails a few times, and as a result, he hasn't hit the heights but that some would have said he could hit. But he has a chance to get a Hall of Famer on his record in Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao, very skilled, quick hands, good footwork, loads of experience, a master of boxing. You'd have thought if this was a couple of years ago, it would be Manny Pacquiao 1-5, 1-6, 1-7 even. But now, because he's 40 years old, it's at the end of his career. He's still a handsome favourite, but they've put it out a little bit at 2-5. I think the more skilled boxer is Manny Pacquiao, but that's not to underestimate Adrien Broner, who does have defensive skills. He did mould his style on Floyd Mayweather. He was compared to Mayweather at some point. But after a few losses on his record, most notably that loss to Marcos Maidana, that Floyd comparison, you haven't heard it around as much. Floyd obviously unbeaten in 50 fights. Adrien Broner, 29 years old, and already got 3 defeats on his record. It's pretty much been shown that Broner isn't on the level of a Mayweather. But Broner will be looking to prove that he is by adding a defeat over Manny Pacquiao to his record. For me, there's 2 factors which make this fight interesting. It's the fact that even though Manny Pacquiao is a legend, his hand speed and footwork, his ring mastery, his style, it's legendary. But because of his age, it's going to make this fight interesting, and it's going to make this fight closer than it would have been a couple of years ago. Broner's 29, near enough peak condition. He's trained very hard for this fight. He's been talking very confidently at press conferences. It's a must-win fight for both. If Manny Pacquiao wants to continue his career, he has to win this one. If he wants to go out on a high, he's at the stage he could retire at any time. He has to win this one. So both of them, it's a huge fight. Both of them have to win. We saw Pacquiao with that. It's a loss on his rest, Jeff Horn. It's a contentious loss. Many people think that Manny Pacquiao actually won that fight. Lost his WBO title to Horn. But that kind of shows the fact that it was that close and that the decision could be given to Horn shows the stage of his career that Pacquiao is at. It shows that we have to bear in mind the miles on the clock. I mean, there's 60 victories, 7 losses on his record. He's been around a long time. He's fought everyone. And at some stage, that's going to come home to roost. So we have to look out for that. As far as my gut instinct says, I'm going to go with Manny Pacquiao. I think the fight's going to go the distance. Adrien Broner is not known for having huge power. He's known for his defensive skill more than anything. Manny Pacquiao, he is known in his career for having some explosive stoppages, but he will have slowed down a little bit naturally, being 40 years old now. He's not the fighter he was a few years back, although he still has a lot to offer. He's got a lot of grit. But I just think that class and that experience is going to tell. It doesn't matter how, I've said it numerous times how old he is, but it's kind of disrespectful, bearing in mind the class he has, the experience, the in-ring mastery, trained with Freddie Roach for many years. I just think he's going to be able to call on enough resources, enough in-ring nous to pace the fight, pace his efforts, and win on points. The win on points is actually evens here, which I think it's not huge. There's no value in it, but That's the way I think it's going to go. This isn't going to be a fight which I bet on in terms of value. If you're talking about value in betting, I think Adrien Broner is actually a value out of the prices on offer. Adrien Broner 5-2, Manny Pacquiao 2-5. I think Manny Pacquiao's price is about right. It's either 2-5 or 4-9. Some would argue it could have been 1-2. So there's no value in the price. My lean on this one is literally just who I think will win, and just how I think, just my gut instincts tells me the fight will go. I don't see any huge power in this fight. If there was going to be a stoppage, I'd be looking towards Manny Pacquiao to land a devastating pacey combination, or roll back the years, put in a performance like he did against Oscar De La Hoya all those years ago, getting the stoppage victory over the bigger man, Oscar De La Hoya. I mean, it's a long time ago, but he still has those skills in his armoury. Will he be able to deliver those skills at the pace that he did? I think it's near enough 10 years ago. I don't think he will, but I just think there's too much skill there. There's too much class. So in terms of my betting recommendation, I would go for Manny Pacquiao 2-5 in some sort of accumulator. It's not the biggest price in the world. You're not going to be making a fortune out of that. So it'd have to be an accumulator with some other selections. And in terms of bulking up the price a bit, I'd probably look at Manny Pacquiao on points, because that's the way I see this one going in terms of picking a victor. But I have seen Adrien Broner is available on points at 5-1. That's not bad at all. And his straight price, if you're going to bet on Broner, you might as well just go for the 5-2, which I think is a fair price. I don't think really Broner should be any more than, I don't know, bearing in mind the stage of the career they're at, 29-year-old Broner, 40-year-old Pacquiao, I can't see him being a lot more than 2-1 really. So 5-2, there is value there. But I just don't see the fight going that way because of Pacquiao's experience, because of his skill, and because of his nous. There's also this idea that Floyd Mayweather's waiting in the wings. Floyd Mayweather's always waiting to make some money. And the Pacquiao rematch has always been talked about. It's never really gone away. Mayweather's telling everyone he's retired, which is fair enough. But we've just seen him in Japan the other day fighting Tenshin in Japan in some sort of exhibition, knocking him out in a complete mismatch in less than a round. I'm getting paid reportedly $9 million. So if the money's right, if money's offered for Pacquiao Mayweather, I can easily see Mayweather getting into a 3-4 month training camp and putting on an extravaganza, probably a 6-month training camp. They probably have press conferences around the world, string it out, sell the fight, get the pay-per-view sales in. So I'm not going to say that Mayweather's completely finished, and I wouldn't be shocked at all if a Manny Pacquiao Mayweather 2 fight was made, or even a Manny Pacquiao against Khan. We've got Khan fighting Crawford now, so Khan is still around and about. He's always wanted to fight Mayweather or Pacquiao. He'd be up for that sort of fight. He's come to America and ignored the Kell Brook fight that everyone's been baying for in the UK for about 5 years, and he's gone for the big fight in America for a title against Crawford, which I don't really see him having any chance of winning, but he's certainly going there for a paycheck, and he's never afraid of taking on a challenge for a bit of money, as he proved by fighting Canelo in a very dangerous fight, which ended up in a disastrous knockout for him. But 9 million quid was there, and he took it. So what I'm saying is, Manny Pacquiao, there's other fights for him to earn money. So he will still have his sights on that. He's always talking about Mayweather or sending the odd tweet here and there. He really wants that fight. So Pacquiao's not finished. There's earnings to be made. He obviously doesn't think he's finished, so he's going to put everything into this fight, and I think that's going to culminate in him coming out with a victory in this one. So I'd take the 2-5 in an accumulator, or maybe even consider Pacquiao on points in this one at evens.